And we will continue to establish those relationships. I'd very much like to take a Team Canada approach, but I can tell you that Justin Trudeau hasn't made it easy. He hasn't made it easy with the revolving door of crime that we have because of some of the changes that he has made to criminal law. It's not easy.
The clash between Premier Danielle Smith of Alberta and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's federal government has become a high-stakes battle over the future of Canadian governance. At the heart of this dispute is Alberta's challenge to the Federal Government Impact Assessment Act, which is a piece of legislation that gives Ottawa considerable power over the environmental and resource development projects in the province. But what exactly was the outcome of this provincial clash? Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth explorations of stories shaping Canada's future. Alberta has expressed concerns that federal policies, especially policies that have relationships with environmental assessments, are hindering the province's growth and potential of the economy. Premier Smith's government argues that these federal regulations are an infringement on the jurisdiction of Alberta, stating that they hinder investment and local development. The significance of this legal battle does not just confine itself to Alberta. On a national level, it raises questions about the scale of the federal power and the rights of provinces to have full autonomy over their own affairs. The implications of this could spread across the entire country, influencing the structure of Canadian federalism, national unity, and also regional relations. On an international level, the case also caught the attention of policymakers, scholars, and governments in some federal systems who were trying to see how the dispute might address their struggles. The Impact Assessment Act was revised by the federal government after a Supreme Court ruling in 2023 that stated the original legislation was not according to the Constitution. Danielle Smith and her government are of the opinion that the amended law still stifles Alberta's constitution, especially when it comes to the natural resources of the jurisdiction. They argue that although the federal amendments might appear cohesive, at first glance they continue to give Ottawa constant control over local projects. Alberta, which is home to a lot of natural resources like oil and gas, has maintained such a state for a while and should have the primary authority to manage and develop these resources without the interference of the federal government. Alberta's government argues that federal supervision has caused a lot of lengthy approval processes, which discourages investments and can affect economic growth. Investors who are faced with unsure regulatory timelines might choose to withdraw their capital and focus elsewhere, which can slow down the economic development of Alberta even further. This is a major concern as the economic future of the province is tied to the energy sector, where quick approvals are important for expansion. Today, with these problems, Alberta has offered solutions to limit federal interference. Some of these solutions include allowing provincial environmental assessment to be considered of equal standing with federal ones, which can speed up the approval process. Additionally, Alberta has also called for standard approval timelines, which can provide certainty and clarity to investors. The federal government, which is led by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, has criticized the stance of Danielle Smith as uncooperative. Ottawa views Danielle Smith's legal challenge to the Impact Assessment Act as her way of refusing to engage in constructive dialogue while accusing her of putting priority on provincial interests over national cooperation. Federal officials think that the policies, including the revised Impact Assessment Act, are very important to make sure that environmental protection is ensured and also to foster the responsible development of Canada's natural resources, bringing a balance to both national concerns and provincial concerns. From Ottawa's perspective, these regulations are important to uphold the environmental goals of the country and make sure that the projects are in sync with the climate change commitments of Canada. On a global scale, the challenge Alberta is facing currently is being compared to conflicts in other countries. In economies that have rich resources, the balance between central governance and local control is a big issue. Alberta's actions are similar to broader conversations about the governance of natural resources and the role of federal systems in managing local autonomy. The outcome of this legal battle might have terrible consequences not only in reshaping federalism in Canada, but also in influencing other federal systems across the world, where similar struggles between regional authorities and central governments over resource control continue to evolve. Alberta's decision for greater autonomy has gained proper momentum with the introduction of Alberta sovereignty within a United Canada Act. This legislation, which was designed to give more control to the province, especially in areas like environmental regulations, natural resource management, and economic policies without oversight or unnecessary interference from the federal government represents Alberta's vision for a future where provincial decision-making is prioritized over federal oversight. In the midst of this legal battle is a very important question. Will Alberta's decision cause a fundamental rearrangement of Canadian federalism, or will it make things worse within the nation? The stakes are high not just for the future of Alberta, but also for the unity and governance of Canada as a whole. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.